Welcome to Southern Sisters, where real talk meets rooted faith. We're your hosts, Megan, Lindsay, Courtney, and Evie, bringing sisterhood, laughter, and a whole lot of grace to the everyday chaos. Welcome to our episode of Southern Sisters. We are so glad you're here. We have a great episode for you guys today. It is all about connection and togetherness, okay? So before we jump in, we would like to spotlight our reviewer of the week. This one says, "These women are incredible. I am so blessed to have them as my mom and aunts for me to look up to. They are hilarious. While out at college, I looked forward to Thursdays so I could chit chat with these awesome ladies. It really does feel like you're sitting on a couch with them as they're dropping all the wisdom and knowledge. They're just the best, and I love them." And that's Kate, Massachusetts. That's my girl.
Aww, we love you, Kate.
What would it be like to be out at college and have your mom and her sisters on a podcast?
Do you know how much
every single week,
that?
like learning stuff? Mom, you need.
Yeah.
That's so comforting.
The other Southern sisters.
Yeah.
Mom.
But, you know, it's amazing. There's been a couple of times when she's been like, she had a really hard day. And she goes, "I listened to your podcast. I heard exactly what I needed to hear."
Wow.
I was like, that's really cool that I can help
Yeah.
in this indirect way. So thank you
awesome.
for being a part. I think it's great. I love that you guys are all here. Okay, so our icebreaker question for this time. Tell us about a road trip disaster. Do we have a road trip disaster?
Yeah, we do.
I do.
You do?
Yeah. One time we were driving down the road and it was just me and my husband. And all of a sudden we see this vulture like on the side of the road. And then I'm like, oh, we're going to, the birds always fly away, right? Not this one.
Oh my goodness.
It came right at the car, right at my windshield. And it was like a giant circle crack, like where the vulture had slammed into our windshield right in front of the passenger side.
Oh,
Did you
that's
scream?
Scary.
I screamed and we just kept on driving for some reason. And every time after that I was driving, every time I saw a bird come by, I was like, ugh! Like for the longest
I would
time.
flinch too.
It was horrible.
You've had some humdingers, Courtney. Like when you were driving across country and everything
car
blew
caught
up
on
in
fire?
flames.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was crazy.
Because
Forgot
we
about
didn't
that one.
disengage the drive shaft. Apparently that's the thing. You can put your car in neutral and you can put it on a trailer with just two wheels. But if you don't disengage the drive shaft, it will catch on fire after 3 hours.
Oh gosh.
That's crazy.
That was rough. When we were trying to go on our honeymoon, Ben's transmission died in his car. We were about an hour and a half outside of Memphis, headed to Gatlinburg.
Oh, no.
Man.
We had Papa came and drove us to our apartment. We took my car, which was not as big,
Yeah.
but he helped take care of the transmission.
One time recently, our van, it was new. We were coming home from a trip and we had driven like 8 hours or something. I don't even remember. We were like 5 minutes from our house and we got to a stoplight and the whole thing shut down.
Yeah.
And Adam had to it was like a hope and a prayer because all of our kids were asleep in the back and we were like, what are we going to do? It was like midnight, 12:30. And I was like, what are we going to do? And so we prayed really hard and then started the car several times. It didn't work. Said a prayer. It started. Austin's like, we should say a prayer in the back. Little sweet boy. And I'm like, we should. So we prayed. It started up and then went down. And so we put it in neutral and I coasted almost all the way home. Adam got it going, pushed it. We got it going. And then he ran to catch up. I'm like, you better get in the car because I can't stop. Put the brakes on. It won't go. So he jumped in the car while it was moving.
insane.
And then we coasted home. It was crazy.
That is crazy.
There's no way we
crazy.
should have made that.
Wow.
All right. You want to know another crazy road trip?
Does Evie have one?
Do you have one?
I don't. All of my craziness just involves crying children or
Oh, for sure.
we did have one time when one of our kids, I don't remember where we were going, but every time that we would stop, they would blow out of their diaper. So
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
come
Every
on.
Yeah, so then
time?
we'd have to go to the gas station and we had to take the car seat cover off and
Car seat is the
brutal.
worst.
It is the
Messes in the
worst.
car seat is the worst.
Oh my goodness. Well, Because I know you all want to know the most epic of road trip crazy was
It was New Year's Eve.
it?
Yeah.
It was?
There was a
No,
dance.
it was the day
was a
before New
dance.
Year's Eve because Dad was trying to get us home in time. We were all younger. He was trying to get us home in time for the New Year's Eve dance.
Yeah.
But that night we didn't.
That's right. Because we still made it.
Yes. So
The
we
year
were on
was
our way home.
2003.
You remember that?
Was it?
And how old were y'all?
I was.
So basically, it was just
A
you.
junior in
Because
high
I
school.
wasn't even 14 yet.
I was 21.
I was a junior in high
It
school.
was just you. He loved you that much.
Oh, it was just me. Oh. And we found that $3 dress at Beals.
Yeah, we did. It
That was
awesome.
the year. Yeah, so we were trying to get home for the dance.
We went to Florida. We went down to the beach. It was me and Ben because we'd been married 1 year.
Yeah,
And Lindsay, Courtney, Josh, and my parents.
yeah. We were in our Suburban.
We were in the Suburban. We were
And
coming
another
back
vehicle?
from Destin. No, just
Just
the
the
Suburban.
Suburban. We all fit.
And we
Mom was driving.
Mom was driving, but before Mom drove, like we had a great drive home. We like stopped at that battleship thing,
Yeah, we
and
did.
like the battleship.
We never do that.
We never
No,
do
it's
that
just 'cause
So it
Ben was
like,
there.
Fun road trip
Yeah.
home. And so we're coming back, and we are in Mississippi, and
Quitman, Mississippi.
Quitman, Mississippi, and then all of a sudden Ben says, "Man, this is a really great car."
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
It's lasted. It's
lasted
in
a-
great
it's
condition.
in great condition. It's lasted a really long time. And then kabam!
No, wait. Stop.
Oh my boom.
Gosh. That was
Our
Mom.
mother
I'll never
was
forget
driving.
it. I'll never forget it.
And at like 70 miles an hour, she hit a deer.
It was like a
Yeah.
10-point buck.
10-point
Yeah,
buck.
it was.
She pulverized it.
I was laid out on the backpack. I didn't know what was going on. I just
She
sleeping
was
it up.
in on the
'Cause
floor.
on every road trip, I take Dramamine and I wake up in a new state. So they're like, we need Courtney drugged and in the back. So that's where I was.
So she was on the floor after that happened.
Yeah, it was.
And then
Josh was sitting on somebody's lap because I was in the back.
yeah, and that was back in the days where we didn't wear seatbelts. Anyways. And then I just remember Mom was freaking out. We obviously pulled the car over. It was totaled. Like the deer was still in the car. It was like in the Suburban.
I remember the flap of the hood flying up.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the
And,
smoke
her,
was
and
bad.
smoke everywhere. She wasn't able to see anything. So we're in Quitman, Mississippi. We hit this 10
Oh wait,
point
before
buck.
that, the cops get there. And I don't know why I thought it'd be really funny to like crack jokes, flirt with the cops. I was like, and all of a sudden I just remember Mom looking at me and she was like, "Shut up, Lindsay." So I was like, might as well make a great experience out of something horrible. Like, let's crack jokes. And I was trying to make Mom laugh and she did not think it was funny.
No, it was traumatizing.
It was traumatizing, and I would be traumatized if I was driving, but I was
It was like the one time Dad tried
Ben
to
was
sleep
laughing.
too.
Yeah.
It was like the one time he let
he
her
usually
drive.
drove off.
But if he had been driving, he would have slammed on the brakes. But Mom kept driving instead of stopping when the deer hit.
Yes.
You remember that? Like she just kept on because she just kept accelerating. No, she wasn't accelerating, but she was coasting. So because she knew everybody was not wearing a seatbelt in the car. She was thinking probably
We would've
about a
gone
million
flying.
things. She's probably thinking about a million things in that moment.
miracle.
So because we were in Quitman, Mississippi, there was nothing around. It was like the tiniest. All they had was a tiny little motel and an Arby's. So
Was it an Arby's or a Hardee's?
it was an Arby's.
Okay.
Not that it matters, but it was. We got our roast beef on. Where's the beef? Anyways, that's a different place.
This is not sponsored by
So
Arby's.
we all shared a hotel room, one room.
Yeah, we did. It was rough.
We shared one hotel room.
And Dad was like, "How are we gonna get back to Memphis?"
We walked to the motel
Yeah, we did.
because there was no way to get there.
Didn't we?
And the
Didn't
Arby's was
police
closed.
officers take us? I thought that we rode in the
No,
police officers.
it was the
car at
U-Haul.
different
It was the
times.
tow truck that took us somewhere.
Yeah, we rode somewhere to the hotel.
So the next
Yeah.
day, because it was like Christmas and New Year's week, nothing was open.
Everything was.
But that night, they were the nicest people ever. And they were all stopping and saying, "Are you guys okay?"
Yeah,
And
it
we're
was
like,
so
"Man,
nice.
this town is so nice."
Yeah.
The next day, we realized that there was a competition for the biggest buck that people could find. And they said we had a 10-point buck that we just hit. And they were all
about
trying
that.
to get it.
They were. They asked if they could take the deer.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it was
we're like-
ours.
We're like, what?
What is happening?
That is weird.
That is weird.
So the next day.
Are y'all okay? Can we have your deer?
Yeah.
Only
yeah.
in Quitman, Mississippi.
Quitman, Mississippi. So we get up the next morning, and me and Dad went with the tow truck driver. He said he would take us to a rental place to see what we could find, but nothing was open. I remember it was so weird because it was me and Dad and this big old tow truck guy, and I was in the middle, and he had a gear shifter, and I was like, move my knees. It was like right here. I remember my teenageness being like, this is uncomfortable. So we get there, and the only thing open, there was no rental car places. The only thing open was a U-Haul place, and they were closing quickly. We're like, we're done at noon today. And it was like 11:50. And so we were like, Dad was like, we're just going to have to get a U-Haul. And I'm like,
We
yeah,
gotta
we are.
make it for the dance.
He's like, do you have vans? And they were like, nope. All we got is a box truck that fits 3 people
In the front.
So Josh was still in a car seat.
No,
Yeah.
he was just little.
Or in a
just little.
booster?
No.
Oh, we didn't
If
do
I was
things the way-
13, he was 8.
Okay, he was
So-
just
Yeah.
little.
He was just
Yeah.
little.
And the golden boy. So he rode in the box truck with Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
And so me and Dad pull up with the box truck, and Mom was like, what are you thinking that we're going to do? And me and Dad were like, but we got packing blankets.
Blankets, I remember. Oh my gosh.
Because it was also really cold.
It
Oh
was
my God.
cold.
And there's no heat in the back of a box truck.
There is no heat in the back of the box truck. There is no light in the back of a box truck.
No, there's
my
no light.
gosh.
There was a tiny little light bulb, but it didn't work. And so me and Megan and Ben and Courtney all haul in the back
Yes.
of this box truck, and we had to lay down because you can't sit up because you're like, Kirk.
Yeah.
So we all lay down, and we were singing songs.
And we were covered in blankets, and we saw anything that we saw was through the light of our flip phones.
Yes,
Like, we
and-
had our tiny like flip phones. And
Yeah.
like, are you okay?
And we would just laugh, and we were like giggling and having the best time. And Dad's like, what are y'all doing back there? Y'all are having too much fun. And I remember I got a phone that year, my very first cell phone, and it had a light on it. And I turned on my little flashlight, and we were all like, thank goodness for the light.
Was it
And
Virgin
so-
Mobile?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we pulled, all of a sudden, the boxcar, from our knowledge, we just heard
Beep,
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 beep, beep. We were like, we're
What is
somewhere.
going on?
So then all of a sudden, Dad opens the hatch, and the tick, 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 and we're all like, "Ow! We can't breathe!"
Oh, my eyes.
So he's like, "Get out of the car fast!" He
Hurry,
backed up to
hurry.
a fence because this is all illegal, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh.
So he backs up to a fence, and he's like, "Get out! Get out! Get out!" And we're like, "Where are we?"
Yeah.
We're like, we were at a
Yeah.
KFC.
We were at
getting
KFC.
lunch.
KFC. That's
So we
exactly
got
where it
lunch, and
was.
then he was like, "Coast is clear. Everybody get back in." So we like hurried
Do you
back
remember
in
what
to go
happened
home.
when we got to the KFC?
No.
Do you remember me vomiting in the bushes because I was so car sick?
No.
Yeah, and then Josh had to ride in the back the rest of the way home, and I got to ride in the front.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was.
He
bad.
thought it was the funniest thing
was like,
ever and was
this
having
is
a good old
gross.
time.
Yeah, I did.
And Dad got us home in time for the dance. It was a New Year's Eve dance.
You. It was all
Me.
because of you.
And you
Yeah.
still wanted to go to the dance?
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, she wanted to go party.
I
She
was
was
a
gonna go
social
party
butterfly.
it
I had
up.
to dance it up.
the only
But
time
yeah,
we got
he
to
got
see
us
boys
back.
was at dances.
He got us back in time, and that I will forever.
was
Mom
epic.
hates that memory, but it is a great core memory.
It is a great core memory, and I remember we got on their street, and it was like it's very
We knew what
windy.
it was very windy, and so when we got on the street and we were like started to
Roll
feel the
over
curves,
each other.
It's a mile, like 1.1 miles
Yep.
of like windy road, and
We
then
were rolling
I
over
remember
each other.
hearing everybody going,
like we all cheered.
Yep.
because they knew it was our street.
I was
awesome.
laughing. I mean, it was crazy. When Dad goes and we all get in the back and we got all the blankets, like I remember him tossing a box of Swiss rolls at us. Do you remember
Yes,
that?
I do remember that.
You're like, here,
I mean,
shut it quick. No.
yeah. No, really.
No, really, he
He
did.
really did.
Yeah.
Such good memories.
But that was one of the childhood highlights, I think.
It was.
That road trip. I will never
This could be
forget
a
it.
movie.
I'm so
really could.
glad
Like
we
a
have that
comedy.
recorded.
And what makes me sad as a
Never,
parent
ever.
is like, what trip was that to Florida? I'm sure I remember that one sorta, but all the money they spent probably on that trip, and then we remember the boxcar on the way home.
I know, right? Like, what did we do at the beach? I don't know.
I don't remember.
It was probably amazing.
Yeah.
It was definitely amazing. We had a great time.
I know we went
did.
to. Well,
It was a great
We all
It was a
played
winter.
shuffleboard. I do
Yeah.
remember that.
It was awesome. The whole thing. It was just epic ending.
So one of the things we're going to do is going to be called Ask a Sister segment. And we want you guys to send in your questions. You can submit them on our website at thesouthernsisterhood.com. But for now, I thought I would start this off to kind of show you what we're going to do with this. I'm going to share a situation that I personally had and get feedback from my sisters because it has been something that has been on my brain and I've intentionally not shared it.
What? Oh my gosh. Crazy.
And we do this with each other, so we want to do it with you
This
too.
is live, y'all.
Yeah, this is live. Okay.
True reactions.
And this deals with community and togetherness. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I was headed to my youngest son's baseball game. So, if you know anything about local sports, you know that in the city that we live, the baseball field parks are a little crazy. Like, they're way too many teams for the space of how many.
And not enough parking.
Not enough parking. Okay, so Kate and I were with Lily, and we were going to go to the game. And of course, it had already started. We were running a little bit late, but the boys had ridden bikes over, so it's not a big deal. We are sitting there, and so I need to visualize. So if you're listening and you can't see it, I'll try to explain it as best I can. But I see a family come, and they're getting to their car, and before they even get there, I just kind of stop. And then I'm like, oh, they're right there. I put my blinker on, right? Because that's what you do.
Right.
I look down in the row where they are, and there is a minivan that is there that's probably 2 spaces past where they were. And it's just stalled right there. Now, it's kind of a crazy time. There's people everywhere. So I just thought that they were going to pull into another spot. That's what I assumed. I didn't think anything of it. But these people, nice people, leave. And they pull out. And so we pull into that spot, throw the car in park, open the back, like we're getting out because we're, of course, late. And this minivan comes and like sidles up to right there because it was at the end. And the lady rolls down her window and she's like, I was waiting for that space. And I was like, what? And she goes, I was going to back in. And I was like, I'm sorry. I said, I really didn't think that was the case. I thought you were waiting on another space. And she was like, she goes, well, what are you going to do about it? And I was like, well, I'm going to go watch my kid's game because we're already late. And she goes, I have to go watch my son's game too. And I'm also late. And I said, I'm sorry. And then she goes, will you give me your parking space?
Like, was she rude about it?
She was just very matter of fact. Like, she was like,
Give it
I was
up.
going to back
This
into
was
that
an
space.
injustice, and she was correcting it in her mind.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm not going to give up this space. Like, I've got to go.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like what I did was particularly wrong.
Yeah.
She felt like it was owed to her.
Yes. And then we go sit down, and Kate and Lily were both like, well, that was really awkward. And we are sitting and watching the game.
What
and
did she say when you said
Please
that?
tell me she didn't come and sit in the same game.
No, but she did come and find me. And she was like, I want you to know I parked on the street. And I was like, well, I'm really glad that you found somewhere to park.
Oh, gosh.
And then she goes, don't I know you? And I looked at her and I was like, yeah, I took your family pictures 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, and so ever since then, I've just been thinking, I'm
Oh,
like,
it's so awkward.
y'all, first of all, I was like, what
What did she say after you said that?
She was just like, she just kind of, you could tell like the nice face kind of went on. Like,
Oh, I know you now. So
Was she coming to find you to be rude?
I don't know. But the whole situation, this is the crux, whether rude
Super
or
awkward.
So I guess my question is, regardless of what was said after. Like, she came up to me, and when she realized that I had taken her family pictures, she was like, oh my gosh, aren't you friends with so-and-so? And I'm like, yes. Aren't you neighbors with so-and-so? And it's like community and connection, which is why I thought this would be really great with this topic. But my thought was, I'm like, did I get parking etiquette wrong? Like, what would Jesus have done? Would he have given up the space? Like, what do you do? Like, I have thought about that so many times.
I don't know what Jesus would do, but this is Ask a Sister. So what do y'all think? 'Cause let me tell you what I would do.
Yeah, tell us.
I would say, I don't even know. I think I would be
was thinking that.
stunned.
Yeah.
And I think I would like laugh it off and just bop away, sort of. That's probably what I would do in the moment. And then I think later, like, you are crazy. And I would ask Adam the same thing, like, did I do something wrong? I would never have given up my spot. People, that happens all the time. And they just pull in, and somebody, if you're there waiting and some jerk that could get in there faster because the person pulled out on your side and they know you were waiting, but they just pulled up and they get in there, they have no problem being like, deuces. Sucks for you.
Yeah,
So,
and as that person that they just jumped
You're just
in,
like,
it's like you snooze, you lose.
Yeah.
You were annoyed.
but then you move
You
on.
got to go find another spot.
Yeah. You're like,
Put on your
whatever,
big girl
find another
panties and
spot.
go do it.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Did
The
you
whole-
genuinely not know that they were, because it's not a big parking lot.
Because it was too far ahead. Like, I thought that's what I said. I was like, you were past the spot. And she goes, I was going to back in. And I'm like, this parking lot is like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Who is going to back in
No.
here?
You see it, you grab it.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that just seemed so crazy to me. But then I was like, am I a bad person? And then she came up and found me, and I was like, oh no, I really
That's
know
so
her.
horrible. Ugh.
And now she's probably going to say I'm like a horrible person because I'm a parking lot stealer.
No.
Anybody that hears that story is going to be like, that's dumb.
Why don't we get a consensus from our sisterhood about what they would do too?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I'd
This
love
is
to
Ask
hear
a
that.
Sister, but
What would y'all
we
do?
should ask all of our
What would you do?
sisters.
Honestly, like, I'm the same way Megan is, where I like,
Oblivious?
did I do the right thing?
Yeah.
Like, you know, because I also want to be Christ-like, but I feel like you were not intentionally trying to cut her off, or you did not know that she was wanting that
It's
spot.
all about
Like,
intention.
Yes.
Totally.
It really is.
Yes.
Like,
And
if
I
you
think-
genuinely didn't know that she was going for that parking spot,
Yeah.
and then you were caught off guard when she came up to you.
Yes.
Wait,
Well,
even
and
if she did
I'm
know,
the type of person, like,
it's a parking spot.
Snooze, you
right,
lose.
exactly. And I'm the type of person, like, if somebody did steal my parking spot, I'd just be like, oh, well, I'll just go find another one. Like, I think it's kind of wild that she still
And then
came
found you.
to find you.
To be honest, I would imagine she, as soon as she recognized you, she was probably mortified.
You think so?
Oh yeah, because the people that are like that do things like that and have like lose their cool and like come after you, that's a Karen,
Here's what happened.
right? As soon as she knows that you're somebody that she's connected to, I guarantee you, she went home and told her husband. She was like,
Embarrassed.
"Yes,
Yeah.
110%."
I think that I would have been like, you know, she could have just bawled me out, come and found me, whatever. But I would have said, something happened to her today.
Yeah.
She's having a really rough day.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like something, she found out her husband was cheating. She found her kid looking at bad stuff on the computer. She found things that she had no control over, and this was one thing she felt like she could have a say in, and that's you were the target of that.
Okay. So I just need to let it go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And don't think about it again, because I mean, it's fine.
Will you give up your spot for me?
Like the audacity.
No, I won't.
What happens if when I run into her again? Because we're in the same community.
Hey,
I'm telling you.
Hey.
she's mortified. I bet she was mortified. Do you know have you ever honked at somebody because they like cut you off or whatever, honked at somebody, and then
pulled
you
them to
knew
the
Not in
them,
Memphis.
and then you knew them,
Not in Memphis. I don't be honking
pew,
at people.
pew.
Right?
Megan, I think if you run into her, you just say hi.
Yeah, just be like,
And
hey.
so
But
she
you
can
like
see that
nothing
you're
happened.
a nice person, you know?
Okay.
But please don't run
No, I
into her.
promise you, she was mortified.
You think so?
Yeah, if she flipped on a switch and was like, "Oh, I know you,"
Yeah, exactly.
I guarantee you.
Well,
Or was it
Because
more
I
like,
would have been.
don't I know you?
no. It was just like, I think I know you. And I was like, I thought about it and I saw the kid in her arms and I'm like, yes, I took your
Can you smile
family
for me?
pictures.
Yell at your kid. Tell him to smile.
Oh my God. Those are not how my photo sessions go, Courtney.
All right, come on.
So today we are going to discuss community and togetherness and who's in your circle right now and are they helping you grow? So does anybody want to take this? Who's in your circle right now and are they helping you grow? I feel like my circle, I'm really blessed right now. First of all, I've got these amazing sisters. This podcast has helped us so much to stay connected.
Totally.
It is
If
great.
it's done nothing else, we talk to each other now.
Yes.
Yep.
We make time for
We
each other.
always talked, but like this is a lot of talking. Like
Yeah.
we're talking a lot more than just like, hey, let's get together for Memorial Day. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's really great. Also, I have a really great book club community right now with my friends that we do book club with. And I have a really great homeschool community with other moms that I love. And they're fantastic. So I feel really blessed right now in the community that I have. So what do you guys think? I love that. What about the communities that are surrounding you? Where are you at?
As I'm listening to your communities, I started thinking, because I have been in my life before with like no communities. And I was listening to your list and was like, hey, she created most of those. And I think sometimes you forget when you're like isolated or like trying to find someone. All the communities that I have in my life, I've created. Because nobody's going to do it. Like we always wait for people to invite you. They're not going to. And so this
They're not?
podcast, right? No, they're not. They're not. Do it. You got to be the inviter. If you want to get to know people, that once that stuck out to me, I was like, oh, no one's going to invite me. I got to invite people. And so this podcast is huge for me. My travel agency, I created that. My coaching program, I did that and brought people together. And so
You used to do your craft night.
I used to do craft nights. Megan did a book club because she wanted to read more books and discuss them. So she created a book club.
Yeah.
Like you find things that you love and are interested in. And that was what craft night was for me too. And you do what you can.
So how do you create that?
So I feel like I am in a spot where I need to grow and want to grow my community, because before it was more of like I want to grow a community, but not really, because I get social anxiety. I don't really like to be around a huge group of people.
Yeah.
And whenever I think about this, I think about the people that are in my circle. And the majority of the people that are in my circle, like I have known them from childhood. And those are the people I feel comfortable with. Whenever I moved here, it's just like, I don't know, it takes me a lot to open up. And so I, like anytime also, like if I would start to get close to somebody, like they would move away. And so that also kind of just turns me off of wanting to like build my circle. And so I don't know. But yeah, what advice would you guys have for starting or building your own community?
Do you feel like you're ready?
I feel like I am.
I feel like you are moving into a beautiful big house that is going to provide a chance for you to gather women. And it's amazing to be able to have that. It brings a whole new level of confidence when you know people can fit into your house.
Yeah, it's
Right.
true.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can
does.
gather people.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
huge. Okay. The great Mel Robbins said, connection is not built on perfection. It's built on honesty, vulnerability, and showing up. So I was thinking, like, if you want to know how to build a community, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Honesty, vulnerability, and just being the person that shows up, being the person that somebody can call and just know that they can count on.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Well, and show up to other people's stuff. That is
Yeah.
probably what I'd say first.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling, like if people invite you to something, be the person that goes, even when you don't want to.
Yes.
Even the day of, you're dreading it.
Yes.
Even right
Yep.
before you go, you're like, can I fake an illness? Can I fake
Yes.
an injury? Is my kid sick?
It's like you're in my mind.
I know.
already.
Throw up now.
Is my kid sick? Can they look sort of sickly later? Yes. So you have to be the one that shows up, and then people start inviting you to more.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I'm getting a connection with people, and then you can start doing your own thing.
Yeah.
And then just have like your core group of people. And like I loved Megan's book clubs, and I would go all the time, but I never had time to read the books. And I'm like, Megan, I'm just not in the phase of my life right now where I can read the books. And she didn't care.
Right.
She's like, just come.
Yeah.
And so, and I've missed it since I've gotten busy and like been out of town for several. And I'm like, this is great. There's no expectation. And if you have something that is just fun and an escape for people,
Yeah.
and just low key, people love it. And I feel like my friends and connections in my life right now are friends that I can have that there's no guilt when you pick up from where you left off. That's
Yeah.
huge for me right
It
now.
is. Yeah.
Because the people that say things like, oh, it's been so long since you've called me, or man,
Yeah.
it is so hard. And so I feel like in my life, Marco Polo has solved that problem for me. And if you don't know that app, it's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, definitely I have those friends where like we don't talk every day.
Yeah.
But when we do talk, it's
catch
like
up.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Those are
there's
the friends you want.
And they're understanding that like I have kids.
There's
like
no
I'm-
guilt.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
friends you look for, and it's really cool. So yeah, I show up to things you don't want to go to and make yourself do it, and then
Yeah.
you can start building friendships.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'm also trying to do is like whenever I have an impression, like you need to talk to this person. Like I'm trying to be better at following through with that. And I kind of got a slap on the wrist this week, actually. Okay, so in our church, we are assigned to minister to other women. And you have a companion that can minister with you. And you don't always have to go to their house. It can just be a text or talking to them in the hallway
checking on
at church.
somebody.
Yes. And so for a while, I was like, I need to check in on my girls, on my sisters. And I was like, and you know, I would be like, I don't know, like that's kind of scary for me talking and reaching out to other people, because sometimes like you don't want it to come across as like it's a
Checking a
check,
box.
yes,
Yeah.
like a checklist type thing. And so I had somebody from my ward reach out to me and my companion, and she was like, hey, so-and-so told me that you are this person's ministering sisters, and she is due with her baby next week, and I don't think she had a baby shower, and it's too late to do that now, but we wanted to maybe gather some women to show up to her house and bring her essentials. And I was like, okay, that was a wake-up call for me. Yeah. And yes.
You
and-
just threw a baby shower for your friend. You are an amazing friend that throws
Thank you.
amazing baby
It's true.
showers.
Thank you.
It's okay.
But it was a wake up call for me. I was like, I should have been following those impressions. And I did reach out to her, and I asked her, you know, is there anything that you need? And, you know, a lot of people sometimes like, no, I'm fine. I was actually thankful that she said yes, like specific things that she needed. And now I'm like putting together like this postpartum basket for her, like adding things that even, you know, weren't on what she needs, like, but things that are going to make her feel good. Cause I feel like, you know, everybody brings stuff for the baby, but sometimes people forget about mom. And so I'm trying to also like, cause for me, I think it's like less intimidating if it's one person. And so I'm trying to work it that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We'll see. You took that and you fixed it.
Yeah.
Even still, it's never too late to do the right thing. And keep doing what you're doing and reaching out, because I'm sure it's going to make a huge difference in her life and make her feel loved.
Yeah.
A year ago, I had the impression that I needed to go to a Catholic Bible study with my friend. And so I went to this Catholic Bible study on Tuesday nights, and we had so much fun talking about whatever the subject was. And it broke down like Philippians, you know, and so it had like a whole book about each chapter of Philippians, and it just broke it down. And so then that stopped, and it was summer, and I was like, okay, well, I really want to do something to still connect spiritually with my friend. And so we were like, what can we do? What can we do? And we started our own study that we had, just us on Sunday nights. And so we did that for a little while. And then I was listening to a podcast, and they were like, you know, it's like a women's podcast. It's called Inklings from Sister Emily Bell Freeman. And she was like, you need to start your own groups if you want to do Inklings and have a discussion like we do here on the podcast. And I was like, this is great. And so all the conference talks are kind of like they're assigned to a week, and you're able to study them. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to do this, and I don't have time to do this. And I really don't really want to do this, but I don't want to host this, but it's not happening anywhere around us. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I felt really strongly about it. And I just wasn't getting what I wanted to at church. I was sitting behind a piano. I felt isolated from everybody in Relief Society, everybody in our women's group. Like I just felt alone, and like I wasn't getting my spiritual cup filled. And so I started this group, and I sent out messages that I was doing it, and we were going to do it every single week. And it was going to be on Sunday nights every single week. And so we did it every single week. And that was for that semester. And it was a lot. It was like, it was hard on us. It was hard on, you know, the family, and only maybe a couple people would come. And so then I was like, okay, well, this isn't working out very well. So why don't we try to do it once a month? And so then when the new semester started, I was like, okay, we're going to do this once a month. And, you know, and I didn't have any snacks or anything when we were doing it weekly. I had popcorn or something.
Well, yeah, you go broke having weekly snacks.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, I was like, okay, well, I want to make this like a night out that's going to be a place where people can come and talk about spiritual things. And then I realized, like, I have such a great team of women that are so strong spiritually in our family and at church, and friends that I have. I'm like, I want to learn from them spiritual things. And so I was like, I'm going to invite everybody that I know. Everybody can come, whatever, you know, wherever you're from, you can come. And so and it always works out. Like, it's never like a huge amount of people that are just standing room only, you know, like it's like the people that need to be there, they come and they're there, and they bring to it like their own perspective and their own spiritual strength. And it is so strengthening for me to have a place and to be a part of that kind of community. And it all started because, you know, I just was trying to reach out to people and connect with them spiritually. And now like 15 to 20 people come maybe every week or every month. And
her snacks are off the chain.
And I love that you include the younger girls, because it's always cool
that
to
is
hear.
the
So
key.
cute.
That is the key. When I realized like, okay, I'm going to include the 10 and up girls. It's like every time somebody talks and we include them, they're making it simplified what they're saying so that it relates to these sweet girls. And like, it's been amazing. And sometimes moms just come because it's something they can do with their girls, you know, and something spiritual that they can get. And if they're listening to other women, they'll listen better than to their own mom sometimes,
Totally.
you know?
Yeah.
So I know.
I love it. I love going. It's a lot of fun. Connection isn't all about having it all together and having it all figured out. Courtney, I love that process of how you saw it and changed it and like shifted it based on the need.
Yeah.
Like that is, it's all a rough draft.
But I didn't quit it, you know?
Yeah.
Like it could have been like, oh, nobody's coming. I can just stop.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. I'm putting myself out there. I have had times when I have done stuff and no one has come. Like nobody.
We all have.
It's really
depressing.
horrible. I remember when I had a graduation party and nobody showed up. Angel and Greg Johnson threw it for me and nobody came. And then like an hour into it, all my South Haven, Mississippi guys showed up. They were like me and like 4 or 5 guys at this
like,
party.
"Thank
You can see like who my friends were.
Yeah.
Like mostly guys. So it was just like you put yourself out there and it's really hard to be vulnerable, but it's worth it because now it's something that is really
Rewarding.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just want to close this up by saying if you find yourself alone and wanting to be involved in a community, take a step back for just a second and try to figure out what you have that's in common with maybe other people or what you're interested in. What is something that inspires you? What is something you want to do more of? And just don't be afraid to open your mouth, because it's the vulnerability of saying, me too. Like, I want this. There are other people out there that feel alone, and you don't know the community and the beautiful thing you can build until you take that first step.
Oh, also, I stopped pining after the people that I thought I should be friends with, and I started noticing the people that wanted to be my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's big.
a
You know
good
what I
one.
mean?
Yeah.
That was huge for me. I was like, I'm sad because I'm not friends with such and such and such and such.
Or accepted by.
Or accepted. Exactly.
Yep.
So there was a shift in my, okay, who likes to be around me? Who is reaching out to me?
And
Yeah.
what's the quality of these friendships?
And one of
Courtney?
those was Tiffany Mason.
Shout out to Tiffany, who's our number one fan. We love
She
you.
is our number one fan.
Tiffany
She
is
loves
the one
us
that
so much.
we were sitting at Inklings and she quoted us from the podcast and I was like,
Lindsay didn't know anybody listened until Tiffany said that at Inklings.
and I was like, she just quoted us to us. That was the coolest thing ever. And people are listening.
because we really do believe that no one listens to this.
She was the one person that came every week.
Yes.
Like, she was the one person that came. And I was just like, why am I so focused on all these other relationships that are making me
the
sad?
quality is so much better.
Yes, it is.
And it's like the people that you would have never thought.
yeah.
And they're the best.
It is amazing. The gift of friendship is with people that are just unexpected, that just run
Yeah.
into your life, and you're like, oh, I would have never put us together to be friends.
Oh,
But
that reminds me of the first time I met Courtney.
What? Oh my gosh.
when was the first time
this
you met
story,
Courtney?
right? Well, you guys don't know the first time that we met?
No, I remember. I don't remember, but I have heard it. Tell us.
It was at the YSA devotional where I met Josh.
Didn't you
and-
introduce Josh?
No. Well, she was sitting behind me and my friend, and I guess she was like, that girl, she's got it written on her forehead.
Totally.
Stay away from me. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
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 And
And
what
she
happened?
was like, oh my gosh, hi, I'm Courtney. And I'm like,
Yeah. Did you know that was my first date with Jared?
no.
And I made him sit on the back pew because I didn't want people to know
I
that we
didn't
were
even
dating.
see Jared.
Yeah, he was on the back pew. He's chilling
That's
out.
crazy.
Yeah, we went
Y'all
to
weren't sitting together?
no
On your
because
first
it was
date?
like a singles conference.
Yeah.
So I needed to stay on the market. No, I didn't want people to know I was like dating that soon.
Yeah.
Well,
from being
she
divorced.
was like, where are y'all from? And like making conversation
in the
with
4
us.
years, yeah. And I was like, "This is my brother. He's so cute."
No.
Oh,
you were
okay.
sitting behind us and in the pew, like we were already
yeah.
sitting. And
Okay.
you said, "Well, you guys should talk to my brother. His name is Josh Kennedy," because Josh wasn't there yet.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, whoever her brother is, I ain't talking to him. Stop it!
Oh yikes! That's
Oh
hilarious.
my gosh.
That's so funny.
So funny.
That
Cray,
is
cray.
not a witness of the power of just opening your mouth and how lives
You're
can be
welcome.
changed.
So
Thank you,
wait
Courtney.
a second. We would never have the three beautiful nieces and nephews.
I know, right?
And you wouldn't be a part of our family?
You're welcome.
Courtney, good job.
That was the same conference that I asked the guy who the priesthood holder is or the
I
patriarch of the
remember
family
that.
when you're a single mom.
Yep, I remember.
And Josh is like, "You had to announce it to everybody, didn't you? You're so weird."
Oh my goodness. Oh, guys.
He's really into the speaker.
Yeah. All right. I just want to close with this last thought. God doesn't call us to impress each other. He calls us to carry each other. So look around at the groups and communities that you're in. Find those people that want to be friends with you for who you are and what you bring to the table. It will be unexpected and it will be creative because that's who God is. And he's going to bring people in your life, if you're open to it, that you never even knew you needed, but you did.
And that need you just as much as
You need them. Jinx. All right. Until next time.
Keep striving, and we'll see y'all soon.
Since a consensus. Why don't we get a Why don't we get a
Oh my goodness.
Why don't we get a consensus from our sisterhood about what they would?
We are going to talk for a second. Wait.
I'm cringing so hard right now. I'm like, no, they're gonna find us.
Who is in your...
Wait, you have to
snap.
start.
My necklace is broke.
Oh no.
It snapped. No, it just wasn't ever connected well.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
All right.
I too would have been late, and I too.
All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about community.
Wait, take it down a little because you did the same thing Courtney did.
We're going to talk about... All right.
Oh, wait.
We're so tired.
We were like,
This is going to be great for the outtake.
This is what Jesus would do.
All right. We've
Hold on.
got to wrap this up. We are running out of storage.
We haven't even gotten to the message.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging out with us here at Southern Sisters. If you've loved today's episode, don't forget to follow us on social media for more laughs, heart-to-hearts, and behind-the-scenes real life. We'd be thrilled if you subscribed to the podcast, left us a review, and shared it with your friends, because life's always better when we're on this journey together. Until next time, keep striving, keep laughing, and keep showing up. We'll see you all back here real soon.